I'm Bob McDonough, Administrator for Economic Opportunity for the City of Tampa. Welcome. It's another great day in Ybor City. We are here to recognize a tribute to Ybor's past, Ybor's present, and Ybor's future. It's a great front door for Ybor, a great front door for the City of Tampa. I'd like to start by introducing the artist, Michael Parker, for a few comments, please.
Hi everybody, thanks for coming out. We're all told to keep it brief, but I've got 7 or 8 pages. You ready? All right. I really didn't have any idea of what I was getting into when I was charged with the task of doing this project in Ybor City. One of the things that stuck out right away when I started doing some research and interviews in the community was that this community has embraced everyone since its very inception, and that to me was a huge idea. I mean, you know, it's I've also never worked in a neighborhood that was so passionate about where they live, how they work, where they play. It's just been a pleasure to work here, and I hope I can continue to work here. One of the things that stuck out in my mind when we were beginning to design this was actually the story of Frank Adamo's life. Frank had a very interesting life, and he had sort of an internal struggle, it seemed, you know, where he left town and came back to town and always had Ybor City calling him back from wherever he went. He was an extremely interesting individual, and Frank really kind of embodied for me, when we were doing research, the true identity of Ybor City. It's had a struggle throughout time and gone through many different phases in its lifetime. And, but the next thing that sort of caught my eye in the design phase here was I was going through the National Archives, looking through stacks and stacks of photographs of Ybor City and from the very beginning all the way to the present, and I almost rolled over one photograph, but I went back to it, and it was a photograph of 2 young women. They couldn't have been older than 13 years old, back to back, rolling cigars in the first cigar factory in Ybor City. One of them was a Hispanic girl, and she was looking out at the camera in 3/4 view. And the other was an African girl looking off to the distance. That's okay. We'll let them. It's recycling. But the African girl was looking off to the distance, and this was one of the first photographs taken in Ybor City. These 2 young women were back to back rolling cigars in the first cigar factory here, and what I've tried to do here underneath all of the imagery, there's many different stories and many different layers to this image, and what I've really tried to do is take all of those really powerful things that have happened over the years and bring them to the present day, and really represent it in a contemporary way. So the other thing that I feel that's important to note about this project, and I'll keep it really brief here, is that this project was a huge community effort from the start to the finish, and I really could not have done this without the help of all the community members that were involved. when we started with a class on public art at HCC that I taught students the process of going through a public art project, and we used this mural as a sort of a test subject to go through the process. So thank you to Suzanne and Sean Robinson for having me do that class. That was extremely valuable to I think the art department and myself and the students. Designing something like this is one thing. We took a lot of research and community outreach, but actually producing this thing is a whole another ball game. The reason why we'll be able to keep this mural for many years to come is a man named Kevin Schweikart. I think he's out there right now somewhere. Thank you, Kevin, for all your help. He said to me, this is what you need to do to make this surface last. And he said, you need to do this, that, and he listed all of these things, and we're standing out here, and I said, kind of unknowingly, I looked at him, I said, okay. And what it entailed was something beyond my imagination. So Kevin called upon his resources. We had the help of Andy Steinman and Corrosion Specialties, who helped us vapor blast the surface and get about 30 years of paint off of there without harming the galvanizing. Glendale Painting and Ring Power helped us get access and to prime the wall, and Empire Paint right here in Ybor supplied us with all the supplies we needed to prepare the surface here. And thank you again, Kevin. Really, I can't thank you enough on this project, seriously. Then there was an access problem. How do we get up there and stay there? And this guy, Jimmy Brown from Safeway Scaffolding and Access Solutions, said, we have scaffolding in our yard. That's what we do. And he came out and gave us the scaffolding. But then I said, sure, we can put that scaffolding together. And I grossly underestimated the job that entailed, and me and my volunteers quickly realized that we were way underqualified. So Dave Scott called in his Special Forces Motorcycle Club, the Rolling Thunder Motorcycle Club, Ashley Thunder, Scott, Brian, Gene, Danny, Charlie, and Basil, and they put it up with ease, and Kevin Schweikart. I was thinking about this last night. The Special Forces Motorcycle Club slogan should be, when your volunteers just aren't cutting it. I don't know. So we had scaffolding up, then we needed paint. And Sherwin-Williams said, hey, we make that stuff. And they helped us out from the epoxy underneath on the galvanizing to the primer to the paint on top. Thank you, Steve and Mark, for your help with that. We couldn't have done it without you. Painting up there could get a little bit lonely sometimes. So thank you to my crazy dedicated painting volunteers, Lakima, Dave, Dwayne, Elizaveta, and Mark. Thank you. Thanks for keeping me not lonely. And the HCC students, Lakima, Roseanne, Cassandra, and Gio, you really pulled the class together for us and made it a success. I wanted to thank Mike, Lynn, and Stephen Hunt, who operate this fabricated products here. Everything I asked for, every step of the way, they would jostle me a little bit and say, "Of course, Mike, no problem. We got your back." And thank you so much. I really thank you to the guys, Jimmy, Roy, Jerry, and Tom. Thank you so much for yelling at me while I was up there every single day. You kept me motivated, I promise. To produce something like this is not a small undertaking. Dave, you have been phenomenal to work with. Your dedication to this has inspired so many people, including myself, to really get on board with this and make it a true success. You are an invaluable resource to this community, and I hope that we can work together again soon. Thank you. Look, okay, the reason I love doing this work is because of all of you. You all inspire me to keep doing it in a way that we must all come together as a team to get it done. That's why I like doing projects like this, because so many people have to come together and get it done. In the end, the relationships that I made and the partnerships that I made on this project made the entire thing worth it for me in the end. And in the end, we get a really cool painting to prove it. So it's good. If I left anyone else out, we can talk about it at the Bad Monkey. I promise I'll make it up to you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Michael Parker. I'd like to remind everyone that there is a poster takeaway that you can take at the end of this, and they'll be handed out, something to commemorate this, and you can hang it on the wall of your office or at home. I'd also right now like to introduce Mr. Dave Scott, chair of the YCDC, and I think probably right now the largest and most visible cheerleader for Ybor City.
Thanks a lot, Bob. And I want to give special thanks to Mayor Buckhorn for being here today. We've got council members, Mike Suarez, I saw you. Councilman Reddick is here. Councilwoman Capine is here. Thank you all for coming. We have members of the families who are depicted on this wall. I saw Patrick Mantega, so Victoriana Mantega. The Pizzo family is represented. Tony Pizzo is prominent here. Frank Constantino is on the wall. And Arturo Fuente is here. And probably there's other family members I didn't see, but thank you for coming. Michael thanked a lot of the participants here. I want to reiterate how much we appreciate Mike and Lynn Hunt for letting us paint the side of their building. We've got significant donors: Ybor City Rotary Club, Columbia Restaurant, Kimmons Construction just down the road, Viking Corporation, Hoffman Porges Gallery, Axoff, Brandon School of Dance, Cabs Plus, Salem Enterprise Solutions, Radiant Oil, and the Quarter at Ybor. We couldn't have done this without your contribution. City of Tampa Art Programs Department contributed 1/3 of the project cost. So well done, thank you. Very much public-private partnership, and it's in the culture and tradition of Ybor City to do things that way. I want to talk to Eddie. I want to congratulate Eddie Luck. He did our website pro bono. You're going to see the mural today. You will not learn about it unless you go to www.yborartproject.com. Look it up. It's powerful. It tells you the entire story behind these images. This is a start point. Our real purpose is to spread this message farther around our region and the nation if we are lucky. Quick thank you to the selection committee. Ken Garcia, if you're out there, Sharon Rose, Larry Wilder helped pick Mike Parker as the artist, a perfect pick. Suzanne Costanza, if you're out there, Suzanne did all the footwork for fundraising. And Ybor City Development Corporation helped us manage the books as a nonprofit organization. I want to commemorate Mike Parker's contribution here and compliment him. You will not find a more difficult canvas to paint. You won't find an art mural of this scale anywhere, and you certainly won't find a design as complex as this one. The message is very different. The method goes back 2,000 years to when Michelangelo painted the Sistine Chapel. The same techniques were used here. And Mike said it's 10 times bigger than anything he's ever done. My comment always was to him, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So hopefully we'll get business for him in the future. When you come back to view this piece, I encourage you to go south of Adamo. Right here, you're like in the front seat of the movie theater. You get a little distance and it all comes into focus. One day, we hope to have a viewing kiosk there, and this really will be the trailhead for the Riverwalk. You can start here, go all the way down to Hickson Park and Tampa Heights. Real quickly, 3 things that I see as significance behind the picture, and it's a start point for these messages rather than an end point for an art project. We've got a really unique story here, and it's about assimilation. It's about a story where very different people, different races, different cultures, different nations came together and they worked on the floors of these factories, and they didn't see those differences. They assimilated. They came here to be American. And the name of this piece is American Journey. It's a really profound message, and I think we have a national destination here to probe those themes and messages. So let's market that regionally in the United States and internationally. There will be art students, there'll be historians, anthropologists that come down here. The site was chosen deliberately on Adamo Drive, which is a major thoroughfare into downtown. We are a stone's throw from the hotels, the convention center, the cultural and historic venues that are right down here. Ybor City has been and always will be and must be in the future an integral part of Tampa's way forward. A cosmopolitan community that exhibits the best of what it means to be an American. So we look forward to that continuing and growing partnership. Lastly, on things that are important to me, I want to thank Mayor Buckhorn. If you saw the Tampa Bay Times this weekend, he has some very strong comments about what he views Ybor's contribution is, the power of the images and the colorfulness and the paella, the spice of life. We are, I think, a great prototype for the kind of livable space that Tampa wants to provide for the citizens of the future. So we look forward to working closely with the mayor and his office. I'm going to go away now, and it's hot out here. I invite you all to go a few blocks north to the Bad Monkey Pub for refreshments to cool off. We've got 11 screens that'll have about 300 pictures of this project in its development. And I'd encourage everyone, whether you're local, whether you're regional, whether you're visiting from another state, whether you're an international guest, rediscover Ybor City. We are standing on the southern boundary of 56 restaurants and cafes. We have 33 cultural events annually here each year, a Saturday market. We have chickens, we have cigars, we have a guava smoothie stand. You can live here, work here, play here, as many have done for the last 100 years. So please rediscover Ybor City, Tampa's National Historic Landmark District. Thank you.
Ever since her election, Councilwoman Yoli Kapine has been a champion for the arts. She's currently the Cultural Assets Chairwoman, and she's here to make some comments.
Good afternoon. Everyone has talked about the mural. I'm going to talk a little bit. First, let me tell you, I'm extremely proud to be here today to congratulate all those that have been involved in the creation of this extraordinarily impressive artistic display. We gather in front of the mural for a celebration of what one person with a vision can accomplish. That's when that vision is shared with others. But most important, let's remember the people who built Ybor City, the workers who toiled here, the families that grew up here, the businesses that chose to locate here. Their memories are emblazoned on this mural. The community has gained a new portal through which Ybor City's rich history will shine for years to come. What was a blank wall has been transformed. That transformation can change a neighborhood. A neighborhood can change a city. A city can change a nation. And a nation can change the world. A little over 100 years ago, one man had the vision to bring his cigar factory to what was then little more than palmetto scrub. Others followed. They came from Alabama, Mississippi, Cuba, Spain. More followed, Italy, Central Europe, all strangers. And together, they created a new community, Ybor City. And the energy that they brought and their new home brought to their new home rippled way beyond Ybor City's boundaries. Their work and their commitment and vigor created a new port. We can see it from here. is just on the other side of Adamo Drive. It's the Ybor Channel. And they built factories and extended trade. Ybor played an important role in the struggle for Cuba independence. The residents of Ybor are among the first to oppose international fascism. They joined the movement to defeat Mussolini's troops and Hitler's air force through their support of the loyalist forces in the Spanish Civil War. And their foresight foretold of the long struggle that was yet ahead. And side by side, descendants of Afro-Cubans participated along with their brothers and sisters in the civil rights struggles for justice and equality. And it is no coincidence that President Barack Obama's Florida campaign headquarters was right here in Ybor City. So when I'm asked, who are these people depicted on this mural? I will say they are regular people like you and like me that had a vision and the energy to make a small corner of the world a better place for themselves and for others. And along the way, they changed the world. Thank you. It is truly a pleasure to be here representing City Council. Thank you.
Now to finish the program, our Mayor Bob Buckhorn. It's hot. We're done. Thanks to everyone that's participated in this. We've heard more than enough accolades about what a great project this is. I'm not going to belabor it. It really is just a signature project that represents that boldness and that color that we call Ybor City. I mean, it is such a melting pot of America. If America got along as well as Ybor City did, this country would be in so much better shape. And so, to all of you that made this happen, go to the Bad Monkey and drink. Congratulations. This is a wonderful, wonderful day to celebrate a wonderful, wonderful chapter in Tampa's history. And I want you to look up there on that wall, and I want you to see the diversity and the ethnicity and the hues and the genders and the origins of those people that are now gracing that wall on this great street, announcing that you are in Ybor City in all of its beauty, in all of its hues, in all of its genders. This is a great day. Congratulations to everyone involved.